Pattrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are inevitable, and it should be very evident now. A lot of people, including myself, wrote off the Kansas City Chiefs and going into the playoffs this year. I thought the Chiefs were not good enough to go ahead and win multiple playoff games and even make the Super Bowl. I feel like the wide receiver core was going to crumble, and I just felt like the Chiefs offense was not good enough to go ahead and go on another run like they did last year. But they decided to go ahead and prove me wrong and prove all the doubters wrong, and the Chiefs will be playing the 49ers in the Super Bowl this year, which is all around crazy. I did not expect this to happen whatsoever. So I figured it's time to talk about it, how this Chiefs team just came alive all of a sudden. Because like I said, in the regular season, they were kind of left dead in the water. Not a lot of people expected them to do much. People had them losing to Miami, people had them losing to Buffalo, and people definitely had them losing to Baltimore. But Mahomes is Mahomes, man, and I don't even know what I should call this anymore. Like, this is just ridiculous. This man Mahomes can do it all. So that's what I'm here to break down on today's video. But before I get into it, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. And comment who you have winning Super Bowl 58, because right now, in my opinion, I think it's a toss-up, but I don't know if I can write off Mahomes again. But let's get into the video, and let's start off talking about what the Chiefs have done this year and why I think they were kind of questionable and left dead in the water going into the playoffs. So I think the biggest reason why, in my opinion, I didn't really see the Chiefs going on a run, or a lot of people didn't see the Chiefs going on a run, and the losses that they had this year, they looked like a very questionable team at times. They had a lot of close games this year, and close games kind of with some questionable teams like the Jets. They had a close game with the Vikings, and they had some interesting losses mixed in there as well. And I think the biggest problem with the Chiefs offense was this year was that wide receiver core. A lot of people thought that wide receiver core was going to be a horrible thing in the playoffs, and it was going to backlash a lot. And honestly, somehow it has not. If I told you at the beginning of the year the Chiefs would go ahead and make the Super Bowl again with the wide receiver core of Rashee Rice, MVS, Justin Ross, Justin Watson, McCole Hardman, Kadarius Toney, Richie James, and Sky Moore, you'd probably think I'm a little bit insane. But somehow the Chiefs pulled it off. I gotta give a huge shout out to Rashee Rice. That man is an all-around baller. He's a great wide receiver. If any of you guys are playing fantasy football next year, I recommend you go ahead and draft Rashee Rice. This man is a baller. He's a great receiver, and I feel like he'd do great on fantasy teams, and he's also going to do great next year going into another year with Pattrick Mahomes at quarterback. Because like I said, he's been a huge part on this. He had a great regular season, and he's had a great playoff performance. The regular season, he had 938 yards and 7 touchdowns. In the playoffs, he really turned it up. In the regular season, Rashee Rice had 938 yards and 7 touchdowns, and in the playoffs, he was crucial in that win versus Miami. He had 8 receptions, 130 yards and a touchdown. He's been crucial in that game in Buffalo with 4 receptions and 47 yards, and he was pretty great in that game in Baltimore too with 8 receptions and 46 yards. He's been a huge key in this Chiefs offense. When Travis Kelce isn't open and he has to throw to a wide receiver, Mahomes is going to look Rashee Rice's way because he's a baller. Travis Kelce took the washed allegations personally, because this man in the playoffs became a whole new player. The drops from Travis Kelce in the regular season was insane. Travis Kelce didn't even have 1,000 yards in the regular season this year. That's how much the wash allegations truly came out. Everyone thought going into the playoffs that he was washed, that he was going to be done for after this year, because he did not look like a great football player during the regular season. At times he did look great, but at times he looked iffy. But when the playoffs started, especially in that game versus Buffalo and Baltimore, this man turned up. In the game versus Miami, he had 7 receptions and 71 yards. Nothing too special, but like I said, in this game versus Buffalo and Baltimore, he cooked up. Versus Buffalo in the divisional round, he had 5 receptions, 75 yards, and 2 crucial touchdowns for the Chiefs to go ahead and win that game. And in the game versus Baltimore, he had 11 receptions, 160 yards, and a touchdown. He killed it versus the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship game. Travis Kelce must have heard the rumors about him being washed and took those allegations personally, because like I said, he's done nothing but balled out, and he's been a huge piece in this Chiefs team and going on this run this year in the playoffs. And I'm really interested to see what he's going to do in the Super Bowl this year. And the real question is, I know Travis Kelce said he doesn't feel like retiring and all the rumors and stuff. I mean, but if the Chiefs go ahead and win the Super Bowl, it's going to be interesting to see if he comes back for another year, because he's already 35. I could possibly see him going ahead and winning this ring this year with the Chiefs and retiring, but we'll see how that goes, because I feel like Travis Kelce, he's still playing some pretty good football. He might not go ahead and retire, might want to run it back. Isaiah Pacheco has also been a huge piece to this Kansas City Chiefs team. In the regular season, Pacheco had 7 touchdowns and 935 yards, and in the playoffs, he's also played great. In the game versus Miami, he had 24 carries for 89 yards and a touchdown. The game versus Buffalo, he had 15 carries, 97 yards and a touchdown. And in the game versus the Baltimore Ravens, he had 24 carries, 68 yards and a touchdown. He's had a touchdown in all the playoff games this year. But like I said, he's also been a very important piece to this Chief team. He's been great in the run game, and the Chiefs run game has really been really good just because of Isaiah Pacheco and what he's been able to do in this Kansas City Chief offense. I also gotta talk about that Chiefs defense because they have been great this year. Steve Spagnuolo has been a great defensive coordinator, and he's been coaching up these guys pretty well, and their defense has been pretty good. Of course, you guys should already know at the defensive tackle, they got Chris Jones. He's an all-around beast, one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. But that secondary, in my opinion, has really shined this year with L'Jarius Sneed, Trent McDuffie, Mike Edwards, and Justin Reed, because it's been playing some pretty good ball for the Chiefs. L'Jarius Sneed has had a great season, in my opinion. So has Trent McDuffie. They've been a great cornerback duo. We also got some guys like Nick Bolton, Willie Gay. The Chiefs, they have a great defense, and I got to give props to Steve Spagnuolo for this one because he's a great coordinator. Pattrick Mahomes in the regular season didn't have the greatest season ever. I mean, last year threw for what, 5,000 yards? This year only threw for 4,100, 27 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Like I said, he didn't have the best season ever. But when it came down to it, he has played some great football, especially in this year's playoffs. In the game versus Miami, he was 23 for 41 on passes, 262 yards and a touchdown. He didn't play the best football of his life, but in the games versus Buffalo and Baltimore, he played crucial football. In the game versus Buffalo, he had a completion percentage of 73.9, 215 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, which would both go to Travis Kelce, and a passer rating of 131.6. Like I said, he played crucial football in this game to go ahead and overcome the Buffalo Bills, because everyone had the Bills win in this game, but Mahomes played some great ball, and the Chiefs offense played some great ball, and they went ahead and beat the Bills in Buffalo. And then in the AFC Championship game, playing a tough Ravens defense, the best defense in the NFL, he played some efficient football, 241 yards, a completion percentage of 76.9, and he threw a touchdown. I know in the second half the Chiefs weren't able to score any points, but still, man, he played some pretty great football, and I gotta give props to that. I just honestly think it's crazy how this Chief team has just came alive so much in the playoffs this year and been a great football team, because like I said, in the regular season they were looking dead in the water, and they've just came alive and looked like a great team. And that is Andy Reid and Pattrick Mahomes doing. Andy Reid, a great head coach, coaching up this team, telling guys that they still have confidence and guys just playing well. And of course, Pattrick Mahomes, like I said in the title of the video, he's inevitable. Somehow, some way, this man was dead in the water this year. Everyone was saying, well, if someone else wants to go win the Super Bowl in the AFC, now is the year to do it because the Chiefs do not look that good. And somehow, they are in Super Bowl again. They're in the Super Bowl again after being there last year, which in my opinion, like I said, it's crazy. I don't know how they did it. The outcome of Super Bowl 58 is going to be a little bit crazy. If the Chiefs go ahead and go back to back, that's gonna be just insane and very impressive, and I'm gonna give a lot of applause to Andy Reid, Mahomes, and this whole Chief team. But like, I don't know, it gets me thinking about some of the players. Like, could Andy Reid retire? I mean, he's the oldest coach in the NFL. Maybe he wants to hang it up if he go ahead and wins 2 in a row, but I don't know, he might want to go ahead and write out this thing that he got with Pattrick Mahomes. So that's gonna be something to look out for. Not saying it's gonna happen, but I feel like it could be a possibility. When I was talking about Travis Kelce earlier, I was already talking about him. He's already 35, winning back-to-back could be huge, and his brother's also already talking about retiring, so maybe they could want to go out together. That could be something potentially to have there. But honestly, if Andy Reid were to retire, I feel like Steve Spagnuolo would go ahead and get promoted to head coach, because like I said, he's done a great job at being defensive coordinator in Kansas City. Also, if the Chiefs do win, Mahomes wins back-to-back, these conversations right here of this guy and Pattrick Mahomes are going to get even more louder, and there's going to be a lot more talks about it. It's going to get closer. I'm not saying it's there yet, but for sure it's going to get closer, and people are going to want to have conversations about it. And the way that Mahomes is playing, if he wins another one, what is that, his 3rd ring? And him winning back-to-back, that would be even more impressive. But even if the Niners go ahead and win the Super Bowl this year, I'm still giving Mahomes and the Chiefs props for this, because making the Super Bowl after a lot of people wrote you off is very impressive. And like I said, I have to give props to this. And it's going to be wild to see how the Super Bowl ends and how it happens and who goes ahead and ends up on top. So in the comments, let me know, like I said in the beginning of the video, let me know who you guys have winning Super Bowl 58. And that's going to be the video for today. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. Very much appreciated. Watch this video right here about how the CJ Stroud-led Texans have a bright future and what they're doing in Houston, because it is truly special. And I will see you guys in the next one.